So today we're going to be subtracting rational expressions. We'll do two examples. We'll do this first one and we'll also do the second one here. All right, so for the first one, the first thing as always that we need to do whenever we're adding or whenever we're subtracting rational expressions is we need to make sure the denominators are the same so we can combine the fractions into one. And so the first thing I'm going to do to get us there is I'm going to use the difference of squares formula to factor the denominator of our second fraction here. Because if it's possible to factor any of our denominators, we always should do so in order to see if they have any factors in common with the other denominator as well. Now recall that the difference of squares formula says that a squared minus b squared is equal to a minus b times a plus b, like that. So then we're going to have 2x over x minus 1 minus x plus 1 over x plus 1 times x minus 1. Like that. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply numerator and denominator of our first fraction by x plus 1. So I'm going to multiply top and bottom here by x plus 1. And that way in the next step, my denominators will indeed be the same. Okay, so we're going to get 2x squared plus 2x minus x plus 1. And then both of these are over x minus 1 times x plus 1. Like that. Okay, now I'm going to combine the fractions and make sure that when you do combine the fractions, since we're subtracting this entire fraction from the first one, we need to use the distributive property. So it's going to be 2x squared plus 2x from the first fraction, and then minus x minus 1, because this negative sign is going to get distributed to both the x and the positive 1, making it a negative 1. And that's all over the denominator of x minus 1 times x plus 1. And then I'm just going to simplify the numerator just by combining the 2x with the negative x and getting that 2x squared plus x minus 1 over x minus 1 times x plus 1. And now we're going to factor and state restrictions. So I'm going to factor this numerator as 2x minus 1 times x plus 1 over x minus 1 times x plus 1. And then these cancel. And our restrictions are that x cannot equal to 1 or negative 1, because at some point the denominator would end up being 0 if we plugged in either of these restricted values here. Now, another way we could have actually done this is we could have actually canceled out earlier and we'd get the same answer. So an alternate solution is going back to this step. We could cancel these out here and then just subtract 1. And then we would also get this solution that way as well. And of course, in this case, we wouldn't multiply the numerator and denominator of the first fraction by x plus 1. So that's an alternate way of doing it in this one specifically. That won't usually be possible in most questions like this, but in this one it was, and I thought I would point that out. Okay, let's try the second one here. Here we have 4x over x minus 2 minus 5 over x minus 3. So what we need to do is we need to multiply numerator and denominator of the first fraction by x plus 3, or x minus 3 rather. And then numerator and denominator of the second fraction by x minus 2. And if we do that, we're going to end up with both denominators the same, right? Both denominators are going to be x minus 2 times x minus 3, like that. Okay, and then we're going to distribute the 4x into x and into negative 3. So we're going to get 4x squared minus 12x. And then for this one, we're going to get 5x minus 10 when we distribute the 5 into both. And then don't forget, when we subtract, we must take this negative sign here, and this negative sign must be distributed into the 5x and the negative 10. So we're going to end up with 4x squared minus 12x minus 5x, and then minus negative 10 would be plus 10. And that's all over the same denominator, x minus 2 times x minus 3. And then last but not least, I'm going to add up the numbers in the numerator and just collect like terms. So we're going to get 4x squared minus 17x plus 10 over x minus 2 times x minus 3. And that's our final answer. And our restrictions in this case would be that x cannot equal to 2 and x cannot equal to 3, because if either of those values are x, we end up with a 0 in that denominator, which we can't have. All right, well, as always, feel free to leave any questions you have in the comment section, and we'll see you for the next one.